back the sheet that covered her. The coroner had decided the sight was too gruesome to be done in person, so the identification had been done by closed-circuit video. He vividly remembered the look on the face of the sheriff's deputy as her body was revealed. It was pity. It was revulsion. He couldn't say he blamed him. It wasn't every day that a small-town sheriff's office discovered the remains of a woman intent on ending her life. And ended it she had. No pills or slit wrists. No veiled cries for help from his Leah. No. She'd ended it with determination. She'd ended it with the business end of a .38 against her temple. His lips curved humorlessly. She'd ended it like a man. So like a man, he'd stood, nodded, but the voice from his throat was that of a stranger. Yes, that's her. That's Leah. The coroner had nodded once, acknowledging he'd heard. Then the sheet went back up, and she was gone. Yes, a heart could break again and again and again. Gently he set the frame back on the table and picked up the bullet, one thumb stroking the pressed mark that had belonged to his father, the other the mark that had been Leah's. WWJD. So what would Jesus do? He still didn't know, but he did know what he wouldn't do. He wouldn't have allowed a twice-convicted rapist to roam the streets preying on innocent women. He wouldn't have allowed the monster to rape again. He wouldn't have allowed his victim to become so wretchedly depressed that she saw taking her own life as her only escape. He certainly wouldn't have allowed that rapist to escape justice a third time. He'd prayed for wisdom, searched the scripture. "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord," he'd read. God would have the final justice. He swallowed hard, feeling Leah stare at him from the picture frame. He'd just help God grant his final justice just a little bit sooner. Chapter 1. Chicago, Wednesday, February 18th, 2 p.m. "You've got company, Kristen." Owen Madden pointed toward the window to the street where a man stood in a heavy winter coat, his head tilted in question. Kristen Mayhew gave him a brief nod, and he entered the diner where she'd escaped the enraged protests inside the courtroom and the barrage of questions from the press outside its doors. She stared into her soup as her boss, Executive Assistant State's Attorney John Alden, sat on the stool beside her. "Coffee, please," he said, and Owen got him a cup. "How did you know I was here?" she asked, very quietly. "Lois told me that this is where you come for lunch." And breakfast, and dinner too, Kristen thought. If it didn't come in a microwavable carton, it came from Owen's. John's secretary knew her habits well. "The local station interrupted programming for the verdict and reaction," John said. "But you held your own with the press. Even that Richardson woman." Kristen bit the inside of her cheek, anger roiling at the memory of the platinum blonde's microphone in her face. She'd so wanted to shove that microphone up Zoe Richardson's. She wanted to know if there would be repercussions in your office because of this loss. "You know this is not a performance issue. You've got the best damn conviction record in the office." John shivered. "Damn, I'm cold. You want to tell me what happened in there?" Kristen pulled the pins from the twist that held her hair in severe check, a raging headache the price of curl control. There was enough compressed energy in her bobby pins to fuel downtown Chicago for a year. Her hair sprang free, and she knew she was now little orphan Annie, with eyes, and no dog named Sandy, and certainly no Daddy Warbucks watching over her. Kristen was on her own. She massaged her head wearily. They hung. 11 guilties, 1 innocent. Juror 3. Bought lock, stock, barrel, and soul by the money of wealthy industrialist Jacob Conti. She sing-songed the last, the press's description of Angelo Conti's father, the man she knew had corrupted the system and denied a grieving family justice. John's eyes darkened abruptly, and his jaw tightened. "You're sure?" She remembered the way the man who sat in chair number 3 wouldn't meet her eyes when the jury filed back in after 4 days of deliberations. How the other jury members looked at him with such contempt. "Sure, I'm sure. He's got a young family, lots of bills. He's a prime target for a man like Jacob Conti." We all knew Conti.